But I'll just leave this leave the starting soon thing up real quick.
All right.
So we're live now.
And we're back.
And we're back. No one's here.
All zero of you. The gang's all here.
The gang's all here.
The gang's all here.
Stupid.
The tissue, the penny.
The tissue and the penny. Dumb.
Oh, guys, we're ignoring the real problem. We were victims of a DDoS attack.
Oh shit, yeah.
It was a deliberate attack on us and our freedom of speech.
We were getting DDoSed, bro.
When we found out my IP, they hacked me and the Eiffel Tower all at the same time.
Von Cheesy's gonna get doxxed. They're gonna take that little DTOF of Dragon Ball Z figures you got there.
Don't you dare.
There's this YouTuber I follow that always gets DDoS. Like, people just hate his ass, and he always gets. Like, he doesn't do anything. Poor son of a bitch.
Who is this guy?
He's a sneaker YouTuber, the poor fuck.
Yeah. Well, in that case, let me do it too.
Jealous community. The guy is like such a nice dude. I don't know why the hell they keep doing this to him.
Because he's a nice dude.
Throw in the damn towel.
Oh, in the damn pal.
Yeah, that's right, chat. The boys are back.
The boys are back. That's
set this up again, and we'll get right back to it. Were we still talking SHF or?
Yeah, we were at the ass end of SHF actually.
Yeah, I think the only thing we had left to discuss was the power poll.
Yeah, we'll talk power poll. We'll talk power poll, and we'll talk. I think SDCC exclusive, since it's like right up. We're right up the ass of SDCC, coming up super soon.
Giving a friendly dog hello.
Yeah, we're getting back up. We have mid-20s right now.
We are not starting this stream until we get at least 69 viewers.
Yeah, can we get a 69? Hey everybody, how's it going? If we can get this video to 1,000 likes,
Can we please get 1,000 likes on this video?
Please, if remember to ring that bell.
Viewers, it should work for us. We are not starting this video until the like count equals the watching count. If you are watching this video, you better hit that like button.
Let me tell you something. If you're not a part of the notification people, then you're a real asshat.
Go ahead and indict yourself in the notification squad.
I want to be notified of all my super sick content.
You ring that bell for notifications. Takes 3 clicks. Ding, ding, done.
Ding, ding, done. Stupid.
Whether it's filling up my cup.
Everybody refill that lean. We're back.
Eating a sandwich at my favorite deli.
At my local deli. Dude, did you see the other day somebody on Twitter was on his ass about that?
No shit.
He posted up. I took screenshots of it too. I was like, man, I got to tell Poncho when he's free. Like, I'll send you them right now. It was incredible. He's like, wow, you're a real asshole for bringing that up.
What?
I got to send it to you right now. It was hilarious. Wow, I can't believe you remembered that. You're a real asshole.
There's a video. It's not on his channel. It's on somebody else's channel, or it might be on a second channel, but like he's at like Disney World or something, and somebody's like, yo, tell us about the Coke sponsorship.
Oh my god.
It's so funny. And he's like a really good sport about it too. He's like, oh, you guys want to know about the Coke sponsorship? Yeah, sure, let's talk about it. He's like, all right, so Coca-Cola approached me. So love that guy.
I just sent you the fucking meme of it right now.
Let's go. What is this shit? Still hating on me for something I did years ago. That's so funny.
Haters crack me up. Sit here, bitch.
Dude, holy cow. Paul Reinhardt. Shout out to Paul Reinhardt, man. What a guy. I truly love. I know we like talk about the fucking filling up my cup thing, but like that's so good. I love that.
Yeah, the guy bettered himself and had himself a real ass sponsorship, and everybody just shits on him.
For sure.
You got an actual Coke literally reached out to you to make a terrible commercial. You're shitting in your fucking cornflakes.
Guy's a man. He's doing it for sure. All right. Okay. So I guess we're back. We're back, baby.
Yeah, we're we're up to almost 30. Almost 30. If you're in here, hit that like button. Help us start this.
That like button.
Smash it.
Smash that like button.
Smash that motherfucking like button. Do it now. All right, we're up to 29, which is, in my opinion, in certain settings, just as sexy as 69.
You never know.
Yeah, let's
All right.
try.
All right, okay.
Let's get popping.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, continuing with SH Figure Arts, just got a couple of things to get out of the way. Let's see. Boom. And trying to get this stupid thing to work. So they finally released the pictures for Vegito, like the SDCC Vegito that's coming out. So for those of you who don't know, the Dragon, what's it called? The Dragon World Tour? What's it called, Rick?
Something along those lines.
Yeah, it's
Some
something similar.
It's definitely a tour.
Some sort of tour.
It's some sort of gathering of tour.
But yeah, it's they're just releasing a whole bunch of different figures and stuff like that. Just variants, pretty much. And this is the Vegeta right here. A lot of people are up in arms because it's just recolors. But I will say, I think we're in the same ballpark with this, Rick. But like, these recolors are just, you know, they're just a way for them to make money off of old molds and subsidize like all the money they spend on these new molds that they'll probably never ever be able to use again. It's the same thing with Predator figures and NECA. Like, you already have those molds, and if another Predator just happens to share the same body mold and it's a different character and it's different enough to justify something, why not reuse that mold and just slap a new paint on it, and it's great. So a lot of people are bugging out because like this Vegito is on the 1.0 body of like SH Figure Arts, and they're like, why don't they put it on the 2.0 body? And I mean, it is what it is, man.
They need a little bit more 1.0 money, you know?
Exactly. Like this is probably, I don't think we'll ever see a 1.0 like figure coming out ever. Probably. I think they've officially retired that mold. So I don't know. I don't think we don't ever have to worry about that mold popping up in terms of new figures. But when it comes to like these con exclusives, then, you know, it's whatever. It's a con exclusive. Luckily, like with these con exclusives, they don't make them like they don't push out a figure that we've never ever seen before for these con exclusives. Like, there's still time.
Mezco.
Yeah, for sure. Like, for real.
That is, you know, that does get us into the topic of like what really should constitute an SDCC exclusive. A lot of people like, you know, the non-essential repaints, basically.
Yeah, like these are, if it's like a sculpt we've ever seen and it's just a minor repaint, then for sure you can do whatever you want with like a con exclusive. It's totally fine. So this Vegito is a con exclusive. The Broly is a con exclusive. It's the third Broly we're getting on the same sculpt. Cell.
I'm honestly shocked that these con exclusives haven't been the cell shaded that they love to do on statues. Yeah. Like, every statue has a cell shaded.
That's phase 3. Trust.
Yeah. Isn't Transformers just getting into that? I saw some third, fourth party Transformers that are doing a cell shading thing.
They need to be either cell shaded or 1000% super manga colors, black and gray or white and gray.
Dude,
oh my goodness.
That'd be so sick. That's like,
sign me up for those, baby.
Yeah, for sure. So this Vegito looks pretty good. I love that his base hair is like brown. It's tinted brown. It's one of my favorite things about this figure. I love it. And I love that his belt is a different color than the rest of his clothes. Like, that bugged me so much with the original release. I hated it.
Real quick, Poncho, Nightwalker wants to know if you reviewed Majin Buu yet.
No, I did not. He's not out.
Nightwalker is misinformed. He's awaiting a review for a figure that's not out.
It's all good. It's all good.
I believe it comes out in August in Japan, right?
Yeah, it's a ways away. We have Roshi. We have like Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku is I think out now, and then Roshi is next.
Yeah, he's out in Japan.
Yeah, Roshi is next, and then Majin Buu. So we got a ways
Excellent.
to go. We got a ways to go. It's all good.
Any more SHF, Dragon Ball, or otherwise we should discuss?
Yeah, there's one more. It's just the power
Yeah.
pole that comes with Saiyan raised on Earth Goku. Literally it.
So it's a poll that is included with any other purchase at their booth, or
Yeah, so it's weird. So like if you go to their booth and you buy anything, any I think it's any SH Figure Arts or any for who purchase any Tamashii Nations Dragon Ball items at SDCC, you'll get a power pole. It's weird, excuse me, because like the exclusives are excluded from the deal. So if you go to their booth to buy like a con exclusive, you won't get the power pole, which is fucking weird.
even if it is a Dragon Ball wait.
Yeah, that's how I'm reading
There's
it.
some mental gymnastics to go through.
That's how I'm reading it. So what I'm thinking is like I think this is like a soft confirmation that at SDCC, Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku will be there. They'll be selling Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku at SDCC, and so you buy Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku and you get the power pole, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's so weird because anybody that's bought SHF figures at Comic-Con knows that all of their stuff that's early release sells anyways. So it's not like, oh man, nobody's gonna buy Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku if they just get the power pole with Broly and Vegeta. Like, no man, everybody buys them. Like, when you remember like a couple years ago when that Naruto came out early at the con and everybody was losing their minds?
Yeah.
Dude, that people were buying them by like the dozens. Nobody cares that they were exclusive. They just want them early. Like, no one is not going to buy that Goku because, like, well, I could just get the power pole with Broly. Nope, nobody's going to say that.
And this Goku is different how?
He's on a new body. He's got a new head sculpt. The figure is just all new. It's like albeit it's like our 10th Goku, but
it's on the new body, the 2.0 body.
Yeah, it's on the new body.
The deco's kind of similar to that Mexico Comic-Con exclusive.
Yeah, so it's the same gi, I believe. It's his exact same clothes, but it's just on a newer sculpt, and the head sculpt is different too. So
okay,
it's good. I think this is gonna be like the definitive Goku.
Right. I was gonna say, so it's not like yes, you have to buy this to get the pole, but it's not like you're technically buying the same Goku again.
Yeah, no. If you're buying this Goku, so if you go to San Diego Comic-Con just really wanting this pole, you're not gonna be pissed off that you can only get it by buying this Goku. Because who else are you gonna give it to? Honestly.
Or any other non-exclusive Dragon Ball they have on sale there, say like backstock or whatever.
They'll have backstock. They'll have Kid Goku, I'm pretty sure. They'll have Majin Vegeta.
You want to know something really funny is that on the last day of the con, like, I wish I only had a Sunday badge because I've seen it happen. On the last day of the con, if you go up to their booth, they'll give you handfuls of that for free.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Because you remember that year when everybody was really like hyped on the Super Mario figures that they were making, and they released Yoshi there early, and they gave you a bunch of free little boxes.
Yeah, they gave you the coin boxes.
On Sunday, ask Emiya or Brian, his roommate. Dude, you would walk by the booth and they'd be like, free coin boxes, Super Mario, free coin boxes. And like everyone would just walk by not caring, and I was fucking taking handfuls of them.
Hand over fist.
Anthony's
always at the right place at the right time for shit like that.
Anthony's Customs was there during that con, and I remember the week after Comic-Con, he was trying to sell them for like $15 a piece, and then he had like a shitload of them because that's what they ended up doing. They were just giving them out for free. Like, please take these fucking boxes. Please take these coin boxes for the love of God.
So Rummy Games Go wants to know if we're gonna get a King Piccolo and launch female with a swappable head.
I think we'll get a King Piccolo before launch. Honestly, I would love a King Piccolo, man.
I'll cry.
It'll happen.
Piccolo growing up was my favorite character.
For sure. No question. If you want a King Piccolo now that scales well with the Kid Goku body, buy the figurized Piccolo body, the figurized Piccolo kit that just came out maybe a month or two ago. and then get a WCF King Piccolo. I think he's still pretty cheap. He's like $12, and do a head swap with that. It literally looks perfect. It's so great.
Well, there you go, Cerrone Games.
Yeah. And then there's one thing else for SH Figure Arts that I wanted to just bring up. I wanted to share that. Excuse me. I wanted to share that picture of right here. This little guy.
Wow.
When you do the head swaps, it scales so well with just regular SH Figure Arts. It looks really, really good. So like just shrinking down the size of the head makes it scale relatively well. So that's it. That's it for that. So
yeah, that looks good actually. That looks way better.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why I love those WCF head swap ideas. That's so great. All right, okay. So talk about Pennywise. He's out of here.
Well, yeah, somebody wanted to know more. I kind of sounded a little negative in the last part. I actually do like the Pennywise figure. It's a good figure for sure.
Let's talk.
Double jointed elbows and knees, and it's got some fun accessories. I think the way they did the balloon was pretty clever. It has like a wire armature, so if you angle it right, it'll look like it's still floating. I didn't know how they were going to pull off the pinching finger where the wire armature actually goes in, but it's actually a little like hole just behind where the fingers actually pinch.
Oh shit, got him.
I've never seen that done, so that was cool. I think the paint on one of the demon head was a little bit sloppy on mine. One of the eyes is like on the eyelid. But the other ones look, solid. I like the figure a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's just, again, it could have benefited from having multiple on the shelf to compare.
Oh, yeah. Are the elbows double jointed as well as the knees?
That's right.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I keep tricking myself, and like one day I'm gonna go to the NECA section and there'll be a Pennywise.
Yeah. And the 1990 Tim Curry version's coming next, so.
Yeah,
literally can't wait.
I'll pay $40 for that.
Literally
that's
can't wait for
that's
that
gonna
one.
sell fast for sure.
That was my favorite horror film as a kid because I just thought it was so funny.
Yeah,
that was
Prince Albert
that
and
was
I
that
can't.
cover that I always saw at Blockbuster.
Ha
Yeah, this is creepy.
Does he have an ab crunch?
He has like a diaphragm.
Interesting.
It's let me pull him off the shelf real quick.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Live on air. Off
I
script.
I guess I could turn on my cam too now.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
That's good.
Great. Oh man, he just fucking took a tumble off the table.
Oh my god! Table tumbles. Yeah, because I was interested. Literally like an hour before we started the podcast, I was on Amazon like trying to get one, but of course it was sold out. And then I noticed that Amazon had it for $27, but then you could pay $10 for shipping. And I was like, I don't know.
Wait, it was sold out on Amazon on their eBay store, or
it was sold out on Amazon. And then there were only two sellers selling on Amazon. One of them was Amazon Prime, and that was sold out. And then another one is non-Prime, but has it for the same price plus $10.99 shipping. And then I went to their eBay store, and it's the same price, $27.99, $10.99 shipping. So maybe they just have two stores on Amazon. One is for Amazon Prime, and one is just regular shit. Maybe, I don't know.
all right, I guess I'll pop this on for a sec here.
Probably in the mix.
Oh, here we go. It's nice, man. It's real good.
Oh shit!
This is the balloon, like I was talking about. You kind of have to angle it. Like I've got it kind of resting against like the drapery of his thing here, so it'll like actually hold up. But it looks pretty solid, holding up the balloon.
That does look nice.
He's got the little, the little boat or whatever that comes with it too.
Oh shit!
But yeah, the ab crunch is actually pretty solid. Goes back and then can't really see that. There we go. Goes back a fair amount.
Oh wow!
Crunches forward a fair amount.
Holy cow! Yeah, that's
diaphragm go. It's not a crunch. So.
That's crunch time, man.
Dude, that is really good. That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot better than I thought it was.
Yeah, for sure. It's got swivels. It's got double joints. It's got
it all.
thigh swivel. It's got a ball jointed ankle, so it does have some rock action. You know,
Okay.
it's good.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait until I move to LA next year and I can just bulk order with Fabio because I don't want to pay the shipping.
But this is what I was talking about. Is this head right here is just not the sharpest it could be.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, maybe this lighting is actually doing it some favors, but
It certainly is.
yeah, it's a solid figure. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, definitely compare if you get the chance.
Okay, hell yeah, dude. Nice.
Moving on, let's talk about Legends, because that's what everybody's
Let's
really
go.
here.
Yeah, let's talk about the wave of the hour.
Marvel Leyendas.
Marvel Leyendas.
Oh my goodness, Leyendas de Marvel.
For all our dreamers out there.
For all our dreamers.
So, well, some people in the chat have already mentioned that they've got it, but that Apocalypse wave and
My man said
the
finally.
Deadpool wave is already hitting. In fact, I know here in California, Al Chang just dropped a pretty dime, couple of dimes actually.
Oh, shit, top of the line.
I guess he found the complete both waves at retail, and he just picked them all up.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, that's what I would do.
See,
The reason is, hey, I'm going to buy them anyway.
Man,
there's a site that sells just the Build-A-Figure by itself, right? Isn't it Dorkside Toys that sometimes sells Build-A-Figures just by themselves?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I want it. I was about to buy the Spider Build-A-Figure just because I don't really care about a lot of people in that line. I really wanted the Spider Bath, but like everybody was like, just go to Dorkside. They have it there. And I couldn't find it. Pissed off.
Wow. Todd, where are you? Lead us in the right direction, sir.
Where are you?
Seriously.
Todd, ¿dónde está la biblioteca? Come on, man.
Ayúdame, por favor, Todd Eduardo.
Fucking ow. That guy works all day, works out at night, has like 3 hours of sleep, and is still coming up on waves early.
That's it.
I know, dude.
The machine.
That guy cannot be.
And he's out here winning tournaments, too.
Of course.
Fucking winning tournaments. He's winning these tournaments. Can't be fucking stopped.
Are either of you gonna get? And do either of you have any of these yet or no?
No, I usually wait for my comic shop to get them in, and they'll just hold the case for me.
See, there's a guy at my local comic shop that gets a case, and every time I'm like, "Yo, can you order me one?" They're all like, "Oh, well, somebody's already got a case." And I was so, fuck you, guy, if you're listening, because I know you are. It's like,
It's a good looking wave, right? We went through this a couple weeks ago. It's a good looking wave, but yeah, I'm not exactly in a hurry to get it.
Not to insinuate anything, Poncho, but are these guys you're asking white?
well, there's a coincidence if I've ever heard one. Because you would be right, Rick. They sure are.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. We're already ordering one.
I'm like,
okay, so
you want to order two and make double the profit? No.
I can even pay it now.
Yeah. Who knows? Hey, well, whatever. So I don't know. So you said you're gonna get this whole wave, right, Fabio?
Probably. I want that Sauron. I want that Omega Red. I don't need 6 versions of Deadpool, but Omega Red, Bishop.
John Connor's review looked fantastic.
For sure, that Bishop and Omega Red, those look great.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not even a big X-Men guy, and I really want these two guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Sauron's just good.
I'm not going to spoil it because I know Todd wouldn't want me to, but I'll spoil one of them. He recently revealed some X-Force stuff, and seeming like we could possibly get a Warpath on that Omega Red body. So if that ends up happening, I will cry tears of sweet Mexican joy. So yeah, if you want to know the rest of the news, go to Todd's channel because I know that's what he would want me to do.
That's
so that's
it. Check out Rectangular.
That's my boy.
Check out Rectangular on YouTube.
Wait for a quick minute. I'll be back in 5, guys.
Do what you need to do, buddy.
Rectangular on YouTube, not with a C, but with a K.
Yeah, I want this wave specifically for this Sauron. I have wanted a Sauron figure for so long.
I mean, who doesn't want a guy that would rather turn people into dinosaurs than cure cancer?
I don't want to cure cancer.
I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
Literally the best. I can like looking at this photo right here. I can imagine him saying it, and I'm just like just filled with joy.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Unbelievable.
Everybody right now is scrambling to try to get that old Savage Land box set.
Oh, for sure.
Fucking blink. I don't mean your friends.
Yeah, this wave looks really good. Like this, I don't need all this Deadpool shit.
Yeah.
Half the wave is Deadpool, but I mean, like, you know, they gotta move waves, you know, and Deadpool is so hot right now. So
Yeah, it's really. I hope my brother's love for Deadpool lasts, because I'm gonna try to like finagle his parents into buying him the Deadpool related ones, and I'm just like, man, you don't need those pieces, bro.
yeah, just
You don't need them pieces, bro.
big brother, take these off your hands.
And you know what? I'll give you the character that you swore was a girl in exchange. Kaba's heading your way, big guy.
It coming back at you.
Hot item. Thumbs up. Leave a like on this video. Comment below. Tell me your thoughts.
Tell me thoughts. Don't even wait till the end of the video. Just hit that thumbs up right now.
Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know. And then when people tell you that they hate it, you're like, man, haters.
Yeah, haters. What are you gonna do? All right, let's see. This the Apocalypse Wave looking good. What do you think?
I want it so bad. I seen Michael has that Wolverine, and I was like,
does he really?
Yeah, he got it from the Toy Migos.
Oh my god.
Son of a bitch. SoCal's coming up right now, and they're getting that Apocalypse Wave, and I'm just. And
Dios mío.
It really sucks. Dios mío. Because in my town, there's this guy that used to own a collectible store that failed.
Mm-hmm.
I live like 20 miles away. Oh, not 20 miles. I live like 35 miles away from San Francisco, but believe it or not, 35 miles from San Francisco is quote unquote the boonies. And this guy owned this collectible shop nearby that horribly failed.
Okay, rip.
Sucks. He's a really nice guy, but that guy is my biggest competition because
Shit.
I'm in the boonies, and he was literally the only shop around here that sold any kind of things like that. And so he goes to all these stores first. And to find anything in this town, it's really hard. Because I know that he knows the people that work at Walgreens, because even when Legends Waves aren't coming out, he's like the kind of guy that resells Funko Pops and like their Chase versions and stuff like that. So I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, even when this wave moves up here, which could be tomorrow, because they were in SoCal the past couple of days, like, I'm going to be fucked because I know this guy knows all these people at Walgreens, and he's going to get a fucking leg up on me, man. I don't know what I'm going to do.
That sucks.
I didn't mean to call you faggy.
It's okay. It's a good idea. Come on. Let's hug.
Let's hug it.
Hug it out, bitch.
I want this image burned into your memory.
I want you to look.
I want you to look.
So dumb.
Hug it out, bitch.
Hug it out, bitch. Not say that to a woman, I've learned.
I've learned.
Somebody did somebody dipped this bad boy in hot water and winged out his little helmet there, right? Somebody in P&P did that, right?
Yeah.
Looks good. Looks really good.
Son of a bitch, man. PMP doesn't rest.
Sure don't.
And no shout rest. Out, I didn't shout out the guy earlier, but read Justin Cooper, that guy who works out of Universal Studios in Florida. He's the one that asked the question of, hey, has anybody tried to put a trench coat on Doc Ock? And I was like, well, bada boom, guess what? Old Man Logan's to test this out.
Spicy ideas coming through. PMP exclusive.
PMP exclusive. Trench coats on Doc Ocks and they fit great.
This Magneto, what is he? He's from a specific. Which one is he? What is he from? I'm not a big X-Men dude, so
I like
my ignorance.
Yeah, I just like to call him Modern Magneto.
Mag.
Modern Maggie. Hey man, there goes Modern Maggie. Uh, I can't tell you off the top of my head. I know it's from specific storylines.
Mm-hmm.
I just go with Modern Magneto because if I can't remember, I don't want to sound like an idiot by saying like the wrong storyline.
You and me both, man.
Yeah, man. Avengers versus X-Men. Like, oh, you piece of shit. That's a different outfit. Like, oh my god.
God, I made a terrible mistake.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's so funny. Cerrone Games goes and says that's actually Avengers versus X-Men Magneto.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a fucking headshot, baby.
Hell yeah, dude.
And Brian Carter says he's also from the current Astonishing X-Men book.
Shout out to the chat, first of all. Let's go. These guys are on point.
You're saving the day. Let us know your thoughts down below.
Go and smash that like button for yourselves.
Smash that like button. Cerrone Games, Brian Carter. You guys are smashing these like buttons.
2 MVPs.
Oh my god, we got Todd down in the chat, letting people know.
The goon himself.
Letting people know he couldn't find the X-Men wave, but I believe in you, Todd. Like you live out in the boonies like I do, but on the other side of California or Northern California. So I hope that there is no reseller you have to battle.
Damn.
Yeah. Fucked up, man.
It's cool. He comes with like little purple hands for his little purple. What are these magnet waves? Why does he need these?
You know, that's when he's releasing his magnetism.
Nice.
It's magnanimous.
It's a really interesting way to illustrate magnetic powers. It's usually just like little circles, right? Like
Yeah. Like little like wave circles
waves of the magnetic nature. Let's
go.
Magnetic
variety.
Sabretooth looks pretty good too. He's looking wild, man. This guy, this face sculpt is like he I believe it. Whatever he's trying to sell me, I'm buying.
I know, and you know, I was actually perfectly fine with that Sabretooth until somebody was like, man, it should have been on the Omega Red body, and I was like, you shut the fuck up. Don't do this. don't fucking do this. Fabio's back in the building, in the place to be.
In my car.
Oh shit. Mobile.
We're off to work, Fabio?
Start the old classic commute at this point.
You going back to work?
Locking in for
I'm
Uber.
doing an improv show tonight.
Oh shit. What are you gonna I'll give you a character right now to do. His name is Blind Guy McSqueezy.
Here's a character, man in car on podcast. Go.
Hey, nailing it.
Nailed
it. For that one though.
This guy's a pro.
Just the first line out of your mouth has to be, you know, Alex Jones isn't all wrong.
You know, he makes some good points.
When you follow the money.
Stupid.
Oh yeah, that's another thing to
do. Globalist.
Damn globalist. Hillary Clinton.
I mean, like most people, I believe there's some weird shit going on underneath the Denver airport, you know?
That horse wasn't built for nothing.
Yeah, what's that horse? Why the huh? That's ominous.
There's obvious signs. It's demonic. They fucking globalists. Stop raping our children.
We're built 22 by Frank Lloyd Wright.
Oh my god.
You know, Adrian Howard, you know, thank you for reminding me. For anybody that doesn't know, for some reason, Walmarts right now are getting a huge restock in Warlock Wave, and I'm not talking about single case. They're getting like 2 to 3 cases each Walmart. I did not fare well in finding it because, like I said, I live in a town with this fucking reseller that's always on my ass. Yeah, so anybody that's got a Walmart near them that really wanted that Cyclops or wanted anything like that from that Warlock Wave or that beautifully grizzled millennial Colossus, you know, go out there and find it. Because I can't find it.
Well, like I said, Al Chang found these latest 2 waves, I think Walmart or something. So he had me go to my Walmarts last night, and I actually did notice that they had a few Warlock Wave figures left over. Surprisingly enough, they had an Old Man Logan, a couple Polarii, a couple. I think I saw Cyclops in there somewhere. What was I really surprised to see though? One of the later ones. I don't remember, but I was surprised to see some of the more desirable figures there. Oh, you know what? There's a lot of WWE stuff that was really desirable that was just hanging out there.
Really?
A lot of Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins SummerSlam package with the two red tag belts.
Yeah.
A couple others.
It makes me wonder if last week, I don't know if you remember, I said that I walked into my Target and I found an Old Man Logan and a Cyclops. And I was just wondering to myself, like, oh man, did they just like find this hidden stash? And now it makes me wonder if it was like a really recent hidden stash and they got a re-up on that wave and I just missed it until that day that I found an extra Cyclops.
I know we'll get to it, but did you guys find any like weird stuff at your Toys R Us when they were closing out?
Just a bunch of fucking rad ass Spider-Man 2 merch.
Oh, I saw that too, dude. I saw that. A lot of backpack, a lot of Sharper Image remote control cars.
I saw a bunch of really shitty robots.
Oh shit.
And the craziest thing, I went there for the last time with my little brother, and I was like, man, I know there's nothing in here. But if you see anything, I will buy it for you just so this memory is made.
Hell
and
yeah.
This kid loves Power Rangers, and this was the most mind-boggling moment ever. They had this Power Ranger Megazord that on the box said biggest Megazord ever. It was $120, but it was discounted like to 70%. And I was like, dude, I'll buy you this. And he's like, nah, and walks away. And I'm like, whoa, no, wait.
What are you doing?
Dude,
this is a memory.
I wouldn't even leave the Toys R Us like, dude, you don't want me to, you love Power Rangers. You want me to buy you this big ass Megazord? No, I really want to find a Pokemon Ash figure. And I was like, oh my God.
Gotta break it to that poor kid.
I know, I eventually had to leave. I was like, fine, damn it.
Were there a bunch of those Megazords at your True? Or was it just like one?
Oh yeah.
There was you saw them too, right, Fabio? It was like fucking 40.
The movie, right?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, my True had a whole aisle of just that Megazord.
Actually, you know what? We're talking about a different Megazord. Mine wasn't a movie one.
Oh, okay.
No, I know this isn't a movie one I'm talking about either.
Right?
Oh, are you talking about the TV show one that like says on the box biggest?
Biggest Megazord ever in the box is like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, that one.
Like dragon face.
Yeah, it was like fucking aisles full.
It's crazy. I saw my True didn't have a lot of movie Power Rangers stuff. It had like the 6-inch figures, the worst, absolute worst BAF line I've ever bought in my entire life.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh shit, Fob, you're breaking up. Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's getting mobily DDoSed.
Oh shit.
Fabio!
You're freaking out!
This is bullshit. I cannot hear him.
Stupid.
You guys hear me now? I'm driving through a terrible neighborhood right now.
Oh, blame the neighborhood, Fabio. Sure.
I guess gentrification hasn't hit this area yet. No cell service.
Oh god.
No, I was gonna say I just got a lot of like the individual movie Power Rangers. They got everything except the females. You can never find the pink or the yellow, and then by the end of it, you could only find Alpha 5.
Yeah, for real. It's a bunch of Alpha 5s coming to an Ollie's near you.
Oh my gosh! And I went to my True when there was 2 days left, and the aisle where the action figures was one of the only aisles with stuff left in it, just past the Lego aisles. And all they had left, action figure, our stuff wise, was just the movie Wonder Woman figures from Mattel.
Oh god, that's
they
sad.
Could not. Oh.
Are we done talking about this Marvel wave? I guess.
Yeah.
I guess so.
We
flowed pretty naturally. True.
They're going out right now. You could find some of them at comic book shops. You can find some of them at Walgreens. You definitely can't find them.
Walmart.
Yeah. No Toys R Us if you live in the United States. If you live in Canada, you are reaping the spoils of a good Toys R Us.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Asian market Toys R Us didn't close either, right?
Absolutely not.
What I'm talking about.
Come on, China and Philippines.
Philippines. That's what it is.
Philippines.
I saw the craziest story regarding these closures though. Some guy was the very last customer at one of his Toys R
I
Us,
saw that too.
and they gave him 59% off if he bought out what was left in the store. For $26, he got like $2,000 worth of product.
That's crazy.
Oh, it was all crap. He was probably gonna donate it to like children's hospitals and stuff, but like.
Now his Christmases are fucking in the bag for the next 40 years.
He has grandkids. They're all
He's got
gonna
the cool uncle. He's got the cool uncle title on lock forever.
He's about to be giving his great grandkids the biggest Megazord ever. And Spider-Man 2 notebooks.
Oh, random shit too. I saw his stash. He had like a Red Sun Green Lantern or something. Just random stuff on top of end cap and I don't know, fucking any of the random little things they have there at the aisles and the checkout lanes. Just all of that stuff. Stupidly priced at cents on the dollar. He showed his receipt. I mean, that's a receipt worth framing right there.
Oh yeah, you gotta frame your last receipt for sure.
It's like that first dollar. You got to tape it up on the wall.
My first dollar.
First dollar. So did you guys go? I mean, you went this last week, right? Right, Fabio? You just said so, right?
Yeah, I went on Monday. It was sad.
I went on Tuesday.
Yeah, I went Sunday, I think, and even on Sunday they had like nothing. They had absolutely nothing on Sunday.
Besides the biggest Megazord ever.
Yeah, that's true. They had the biggest Megazord ever.
You know what mine had? It had a bunch of kids' toys, like fucking PJ Mask and all that crap.
Yeah, you're right, dude. Mine had a bunch of a whole aisle of PJ Mask.
Yeah, that's what it was. Literally a whole aisle of PJ Mask. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
Man, my entire Lego aisles were replaced with backpacks.
Whoa.
Literal backpacks.
What? Not
even licensed, not even like Marvel or Star Wars backpacks, just like plain old JanSports.
Dude, I've never even seen backpacks out of Toys R Us.
Right? And it was all, I don't know if you guys had it too, but there was a specific tag on it that was like AUG or something. Just random stuff that they were clearing out of the same warehouses.
Jesus Christ.
Did you guys have like blankets at yours? Like throw blankets?
Maybe.
It's not. Dude, mine had an entire aisle.
What it was at your Toys R Us?
What's up?
I'm asking the chat what weird stuff they found at their Toys R Us.
Oh yeah. If you found like some weird shit at your Toys R Us, let us know in the chat, man, for sure. I'd love to hear it.
Can we please?
Go ahead, Rick.
I was gonna say, can we please get some random shit in this comment section?
Did you guys see the Spider-Man 2 stuff at your Toys R Us's?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, swap
the notebooks.
Palette.
It's crazy.
Fucking.
What happened to where every True in the country had specifically Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 merch left over?
That movie's from 2002. What the heck?
It's crazy. I saw pictures on the internet of the guy who had like the sticker pack or whatever, and I was like, dude, this is so funny. And then when I went to my True, famously known for never having shit ever, never having anything. I saw it there and I lost my mind. I was laughing so hard in the store.
Are you okay, sir?
You've seen pictures of people's Toys R Us's and you've thought to yourself, man, my True never gets that stuff. And the one time that does happen, it's this pencil.
The Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 sticker sheet.
Incredible stuff.
So great. What were some of the last like good purchases that you got from True?
I was gonna say there was really nothing left at mine because I know NECA for a fact pulled their stuff out from like restocks and everything as soon as the news went down that they were closing. So
really,
if I picked up anything, it was like I don't know, maybe a WWE figure here or there. But I've really slowed down on those, so I wasn't even trying to get anything crazy. I got some Legos to give some kids in my family.
Right.
That's honestly about it.
Wow, you really lucked out at my Toys R Us's. What you just described with NECA Lego did. They took everything back. Yeah, so I didn't see any Legos. I would have done it just to sit on them because sometimes these Lego sets, like when they're years old, they can go for so much money just because of a certain piece that's common to lose.
Right.
So like I was just thinking about like, man, if I go there and I see like a bunch of Lego sets for 70% off, I was like, man, I'll buy them. And when I asked the person, they're like, oh yeah, Lego took the stuff like as soon as we filed for bankruptcy. And he's like, just like the video games. He's like, they all came in here and took it.
Dang, that's crazy. Because my Legos didn't get pulled out, but they were the last thing to go on any sort of reasonable discount. It was like 5%, 10%, 15. By the time it got to like 30, everything was gone.
Interesting. Did all of you guys' Toys R Us pull video games first or something, or no?
Yeah, mine was video games first. They even took the fucking kiosk, those rat bastards. I wanted that Nintendo kiosk.
Dude, what I really want to know is if anybody in the chat bought some of the Toys R Us fixtures and are just continuing Toys R Us or in their display rooms.
Their own private Toys R Us.
I know for a fact, here's a crazy thing. I know for a fact there's a seller at Frankenson who bought a bunch of fixtures from True for his booth. So much so that he had to expand to a double booth.
Holy
So he's
shit.
got a whole Toys R Us going on there now. If you want a little nostalgia, if you ever come down here to visit, we'll go to this guy's booth.
That's crazy.
I'm talking about Josh. Some people might know Josh.
Shout out to everybody who knows Josh.
Yeah, he's the boy. With the most impressive Hot Toys display you could ever see up there.
Oh yeah, I my Toys R Us never had anything. Somebody said that they bought like the Tamashii Nations fixtures and stuff. I think it was somebody in PNP or maybe it was SH Figure Arts USA, but somebody got those, and I'm like, holy shit, man! I never even saw those.
Talking about the when they have the Tamashii section, they have like the glass enclosure with like the example figures, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, those were gone quick. Someone must have bought those.
That's crazy. My Toys R Us never even got that section, so I never even had imports in my Toys R Us. My Toys R Us was so like sad. My entire time shopping at this True, it felt like it was closing the entire time. So that's why I'm not really that affected because I've been living in that bubble for quite a while.
So you haven't bought anything there in a while, even with the closing, huh?
Well, I mean,
No
I still bought stuff. It was just like I would never see anything. So like the last good purchase that I made at that Toys R Us was maybe about 3 months ago. Like I was shocked, gobsmacked, because I saw that the Hydra 2-packs there, and they had 4, and I was like, holy shit, I'm buying every single one of these. So I bought like all of those, and it was while they were closing, so they were 20% off, which wasn't bad at all. But like I knew that I would never ever like the True never got stuff. So as soon as I saw that there, I was like, dude, hell yeah. I secretly think like maybe like some collectors like work there, so they always just like keep the stuff for themselves. That's the only thing I can ever think of, because every single time a new wave comes out or whatever, like it is never even on the shelves. Ever.
Not even the sticker?
The sticker gets put up sometimes. But like
that's definitely
yeah, for sure. But like I never see the figure there. And like I work kind of close to where my True was, so after work sometimes I would go and just see something, if something was there, when I knew that people like on the East Coast have started getting stuff at their Toys R Us, and I was like, well, maybe I'll try mine, and then like, I would never ever see it. That was it. So the last thing I bought that was really good was those Hydra 2-packs. I found the last tech deck at my Toys R Us, and I bought that.
Oh.
Pretty stoked about that.
Now that you mentioned it, yeah, my tech decks were on sale for like 60% off, and I bought a couple just to, have little background props. Some of them came with like a fire hydrant, a bike rack,
Nice.
random stuff. So I bought those for props.
My Toys R Us had a lot of like Tech Deck skate park stuff there. No Tech Decks, but the skate park
No,
stuff were there.
exactly. Yeah, all the skateboards were gone quick, but I got a BMX bike because I thought it looked kind of cool,
Yeah.
and I wanted to put it in the bike rack, of course,
Hell yeah.
as a little background piece, you know. Yeah, not bad, but you're right. The skateboards went real quick.
Sure did.
What about you? Any final hauls from Toys R Us worth speaking of? Rick's gone.
Oh shit. Rick Dom, more like Rick Gone, right? Am I right? Stupid.
That wasn't stupid. That was great. Puns are great. Let's look through the chat. Let's see if we got any memories of True that people are speaking of. I'm on my phone, so I'm twice as slow as I normally would be. You're on your computer. You check.
Yeah, you know what? Let me take the helm. So let's see. Todd says he never saw anything in his Toys R Us. Stupid. Let's see. Cerrone Game says we can't say True anymore. Yes, we can. I'm saying it right now. So let's see. Yeah, Todd said he only saw a new wave come up once. What else? Brian Carter says Star Wars section was still full when most of the store was empty. Unreal. Same got another Serena Game said my True had 2 aisles full of Star Wars lightsabers. Holy shit.
Sabers, heck yeah.
My bud picked up a Michelangelo 1/4 scale for $100 on his last visit. That's retail, right? Still nice. See, my True never even got those 1/4 scale NECA turtles. That's
Mine
crazy.
did for a while. I never
Really?
saw them all on the shelf together at once. It was like 2 or 3 of them at once. But those went quick. Um, and then I was actually really waiting for the Wonder Woman to come in so I could use it as like my last big purchase there. But it never came in. Like I said, NECA pulled out.
Damn.
Pull out game strong.
Damn. My motto is never pull out.
No kids. I had no kids.
Let's see.
Yeah, Adrian Howard's right. He said it became a waste of gas to even go hunting at True for those last few months.
It really did, man. So my True, like a lot, I saw a couple of people picking up those like those big like bomber jets, those 1/18 scale bomber jets, and I really wanted one. And my True had like the whole wall was lined with them. And then I went like the day after somebody, I think it was Al Chang, maybe, who said that he got a bomber jet. But like I went up to my True and they were gone. Every single one was gone, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why?"
I know what you're talking about, the knockoff GI Joes.
Yeah.
G.I. Jose.
G.I. Jose.
Oh my God, G.I. Jose! He's trying to take down the cartels.
D-Town said faded water damaged Civil War 3-pack that was left somewhere in the back of the store. 100 of Mezco Harley Quinn Living Dead dolls. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
See, my True never even got Living Dead dolls. Like, dude, my True was like an actual ghost town. Like, before I was like really into like A.C.B.A. and like the toy community, like I would always make fun of my True because like it's in like the old 80s like frame, like it's the old 80s store, so they never updated it. But like at some point they must have been forced to at least update the interiors kind of, so you can see where the old like stations where you could like just go around and like open areas where there'd be like tables you could draw on and shit like that. You could see where that stuff was, and there's like misplaced like foundation pillars everywhere. It just looked like such a sad, desolate place forever. So like I always used to say like My true sucks like for a very long time, and then when I got when I started coming to like when I got like into the toy community, I'd post a picture of my true, and then like I remember the first time I posted a picture of my true, like a lot of the older heads were like, holy shit, this is the best thing ever, because it looked like an old 80s true, and they're all like, this really brings me back, like holy cow, that's so great. And I was like, yeah, well, try going inside. And then that feeling of wonder will go away very quick.
Yeah, and then you're just like, well, there's nothing here.
Question from Cerrone Games Go, who's on fire right now with these questions.
Let's go.
Figures and true, which retailer is going to carry their figures now? I think Target. I think they're. I mean, I can't say that for sure yet, but if I had to guess, that would be it. I know come San Diego Comic-Con, they're going to have an announcement as to, you know, which retailer is really going to pick up the slack where True left off. Probably
They'll announce
Target
it
and
at SDCC.
there. Yeah, they're going to reveal that kind of stuff at SDCC.
That's awesome.
If it ends up being Walmart, I would be highly shocked.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, they tried. They had some stuff in the checkout aisles for a while, but yeah, I don't know. Walmart kind of sucks.
I think they do. I think they do pretty okay at Target right now with their little NECA corner.
Yeah, Target does. My Target has a little NECA corner.
It's honestly more of a McFarlane corner with a little God of War there.
Fuck McFarlane figures. Sorry, Todd. I know you're watching, but
Hey,
fuck your figures.
No offense, but fuck your figures and your shit articulation.
Oh my god.
What happened to Fabio?
Fabio is phasing in and out of this dimension as we speak, unfortunately.
Oh god.
He's getting beaten up.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
That's all.
You know that
was the upside down.
Stranger Things.
You know, speaking of Stranger Things, that would be a good area to put NECA figures, like right next to the Stranger Things and the Funko stuff.
Yeah, what's up with Target and their Stranger Things fetish while we're at it?
Yeah, we really love Stranger Things at Target. Like maybe one of the execs is like, "Hey, 11, she's the best.
She's the best." You know what we need? 8 square feet of Stranger Things. Let's make it happen.
11 and Mike is the Romeo and Juliet of our time.
If that's not your OTP, you're fucking wrong. And you're fired, by the way.
Let me tell you something, man. Malevolent is fucking real. The ship is sailing. The ship is sailing, boy.
Malevolent.
That's what that's what the girl that plays 11 calls it.
Does she really?
Yeah, she was like, "Listen, guys, although I'm not I guess she got harassed one time when she started dating this like popular YouTuber / music maker called Jacob Sartorius."
Oh God, fuck that kid! God. First of all,
yeah. Number one, fuck Jacob Sartorius. But number two, that girl almost shut down her Instagram because everybody was pissed that she wasn't dating the kid that plays Mike. And she was like, "Listen, although Malevolent is real on the show, he's just not. They're not real in real life." And I was like, "Oh my God, Malevolent."
That actor's a treasure, man.
And I used it ever since. Fuck Jacob Sartorius. That guy's a total goober.
That's the kid that. No, that's Nash Greer that said the hair thing. Fuck all those guys. Let's see. Get your way out of Dimension X real quick. I don't know what's going on. So let's open up some Q&A real quick. A lot of people are already asking questions, so it's a good time to go ahead and open up Q&A. So if you have questions, go ahead and hit them in the comment section below.
Do it.
And we'll answer them. Stupid. So Colossal Customs says, is anyone interested in the Mattel Baths coming out, Lex Impossible Lobo? I know they're still Mattel, but but I get about 2 Mattel figs a year. Holy shit.
Let me tell you something, Colossal Customs. I always want these baths, like that King Shark and
Fire. King
the
Shark fire.
clay face. I want them all so bad, but let me tell you something, man. I don't want to buy those piece of shit figures, and I never end up doing it. I always tell myself like, yeah, I ever see an entire wave on a peg, I'll do it just for the bath, and that situation just never happens. I just end up looking at them and I'm like, ugh, Mattel, and I don't buy it. I end up passing. I think their strongest point is those baths. That King Shark, man. Oh my god. And that King Shark that somebody made into a street shark. My god.
Shit. I didn't see that. That sounds sick.
Oh my god. It is the sickest custom I've ever seen. It was by this guy that's like semi-popular on Instagram for customs. His name is Customs by Machu. And Jesus, man, that street shark with the King Shark was just it left me speechless. Fucker even gave him big ass rollerblades.
What a feature,
rollerblades, Brotendo. It was wow. It was just so impressive, and I really like, you know, as much as I don't like Mattel's figures, those baths are they're just so fucking cool. Like they're just so sick. You can't even deny them. They're so awesome.
Yeah, all those baths are really, really great. Like you said, that King Shark is super cool. The Clayface is super sick too. Like they're all like really good, but like I don't want to like I already with Marvel Legends don't want usually half the wave, but with these Mattel figures, I don't want next to anybody in those waves at all.
And you know, I did like it must have been like a year back. I think people remember the wave where they had that one Robin that's the African American kid.
Yeah.
And that weird villain, Hooks or whatever I don't care what anybody tells me in the comments. On the package, it literally fucking calls him Hooks. So he has a real name. I don't know what to tell you. Take it up with Mattel. I don't know his real name. And he looks like he has a fucking Reaper hands. I bought those figures because I thought they looked so cool, and they totally fucking blew, man. They were balls. I was so mad, and I paid nothing for them. That wave, when I was ringing it up at Target, wasn't in the system. So I went up to the counter and like, how much are these? I was like, $5. I paid $5 for them and was pissed. So, what does that tell you? I want those baths, but I don't want to pay for those waves.
It's pretty rough, man. And it's one thing because like some like those T joints are so awful. I hate those T joints so. And like I think it was that Robin figure. Like in the promo images, he didn't have T joints, correct?
Yeah.
Then he came out.
He came out. But you know they're getting rid of the T joints. But let me tell you this, Pancho. Those replacements to the T joints are absolute anal glands. Their range of motion is worse than a Dragon Stars figure.
Oh shit.
So imagine. I mean, it's not like the Dragon Stars figures are bad hip motion, but like just imagine. They're not even on that level. They're not even on the level of an MU's hip motion. They don't feel good whatsoever. I don't know. I just I wish somebody else would have the line, but I know that WB and Mattel have like this thing, so it's like never gonna happen. And when fucking when DC Collectibles is out here getting rid of lines and starting lines and getting rid of lines, nothing's, you know, we're just fucked.
That's rough, dude. Let's see. Brian Carter asks, now with X-Force X-23 out, how close do you think Hasbro will get to finishing those X-Force teams, those sweet X-Force teams? What do you think, Rick? What's good?
If you were to have watched Todd's recent video, you would get the answer to that. Shit. Quite possible we're going to be getting something. I'm not going to say more than that because I want you to have to go to Todd's channel to watch and find out. It's not a very long video anyway, so you know, it's like I'm making you sit through like a 70-minute video. It's like 8 or 9 minutes. You know, Todd's putting out content. He's revealing things. Give him the fucking watch. Uh, yeah, it seems like we may be getting something on that end. I'm really excited at that prospect. I can't wait. And just to address this, Boog is not here. I don't think people understand that he is like not here in any way, shape, or form.
Maybe spiritually. Boog, if you're here with us, give us a sign.
Boog trusts us probably more than he should. And we have his passwords. And we're here of his picking. Yeah. Whoever's giggling in the background, it's not him. I promise. If he was here, we would not, even though he's our superior, we would absolutely not allow Boog to not say anything and just be in the background giggling.
That's it. If you're gonna giggle, you're gonna talk. All right.
Yeah, you're gonna speak, friend. He's not here. The guy is he's hanging out with a friend from out of town. So he just doesn't have the time. He doesn't have the time this week. But we know there were so much things we needed to talk about that if we left it to next week, you guys wouldn't give a shit. You know, you would be calling us. You would be saying that we're a week too late. You know what I mean? So we just wanted to get something out. Boog is not here. Just like you, we wish he was, because who doesn't love Boog Nice?
Who doesn't want those 100 points of articulation?
100 points of articulation.
Nico Hodge asked, how many waves y'all think we got until they reuse that Psylocke figure in X-Force colors?
How many? I mean, I think that's a pretty broad question. I'm gonna go how many? How many X-Men waves? I don't know. Probably 2. If we're speaking waves in general, they make so many now. It's really hard to say things like that because they just fucking keep pumping out these waves. But if we're talking strictly X-Men waves, obviously not including Deadpool. Damn, or actually you might need to include Deadpool because he's been a part of X-Force before. And they keep tying in. So I don't know, maybe like 2 more waves. I definitely see it happening. I know that they would want to. You know, Hasbro's all about making money, so they're not about to not do something people will buy. Like I kept telling people when that fucking Sauron was on the display that although they didn't want to say it on camera, when you're up in these Hasbro guys' faces, they will answer these questions very straightforward if you're not recording them. I went up to them, I asked them, hey man, what's the deal with that Sauron? They're like, oh yeah, it's coming. And I was like, oh, there we go. Problem solved. And so like I said, they're all about making money. They're all about reusing molds. So that Psylocke X-Force, it's gonna happen. I wouldn't be surprised if we have that next year at some point in one of the waves.
Heard it here first.
Damn, she should have been thicker, Miss Marvel body. I cannot say I disagree. Psylocke, you think thicker than a Snicker.
Damn, thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. My man Dub T is on point.
Dub, like, hey, she had a fat ass. I don't know. I do agree, and I also like. I don't know what's going on with these paint debacles. Everybody's kind of wondering right now. I guess we're not going to know until these waves hit hard in the U.S. exactly which one is the one that we're going to be destined for, like with the green head and the white head debacle.
Shit, yeah.
But it's seeming like we're going to get the purple head. So if you wanted the purple head, it seems like that's what we're going to get. That's the fixed color, quote unquote fixed. So
let's see. Corona Games asks, there are some really strange looking DC Batman, Joker, and Harleys on Amazon right now. Could be less articulation on a budget, but the Joker looks okay. Nice. Yeah. Not really a question. I kind of jumped the gun on that one. Colossal Customs also asked me specifically, thank you.
Whoa.
Honored.
Specific shout out.
Honored. Don't you do A.C.B.A. community /Saturdays? Is it coming back? Yeah, A.C.B.A. Saturdays. Yeah, I do A.C.B.A. Saturdays. First of all, I don't want to take all the credit. A.C.B.A. Saturdays is a product of the A.C.B.A. community, which is also its downfall. Because nobody ever sends me shit, so A.C.B.A. Saturdays is basically only much. Let me start over. A.C.B.A. Saturdays pretty much only gets made when the community comes together and is able to make an episode. I'd love to do more A.C.B.A. Saturday stuff, but by definition, it's it's dependent on the community. So if you're not already a part, usually I'll send out an APB on PNP. A lot of acronyms here. But let's see. I will usually post a thread in PNP or some other communities and stuff. If anybody ever wants to submit stuff for A.C.B.A. Saturdays, admittedly, I haven't done so in a very long time. But we've been hearing more and more questions about A.C.B.A. Saturdays for a while now. So if it's definitely sought after, it's really not an issue about bringing it back. It's just about getting everybody on board, getting everybody on the same page, and getting enough content to go ahead and create an episode for A.C.B.A. Saturdays, which is uh, basically it. So to answer your question, A.C.B.A. Saturdays is not off the table in the slightest. I love A.C.B.A. Saturdays. It's just it requires nothing but communal content. So that's why you haven't seen some in a while. Definitely. Let's see. I'm gonna fade anybody on site if they reach for that purple head Psylocke.
It's fisticuffs if you're trying to get that fucking Psylocke.
What's the other color? Pink, right? Isn't it?
It's black.
Black. Oh my god.
Black in like a darker tone of blue.
Oh.
I want to do A.C.B.A., says Nicholas Martian. But the only camera I have is an iPhone 6. What's the best cheap camera?
Yo, believe it or not, your iPhone 6. let's be real. Your iPhone 6 has a great camera, dude, for sure. Like it's I know a lot of people in like for A.C.B.A. think that you need like a DSLR or like a high-end point and shoot and stuff like that, but you really don't. You'll be surprised if you go through the community page right now. A lot of those guys are shooting on cell phones. And if you don't believe me, Rick can back me up.
Yeah, it's like probably I mean you're not gonna believe it, but it's probably like 70% cell phones.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, you're saying like the 7 and up is better. Obviously, the more recent cameras are going to have a better quality and stuff like that. But some of the most recognizable pictures on A.C.B.A. are taken with like Galaxy S2s and like just like really like old ass phones and stuff like that. Boog himself has an old ass point and shoot. Like, don't get it twisted. Boog himself doesn't even take pictures on a DSLR. So, I mean, it literally doesn't come down to your camera. Granted, that can help for sure. The more options you have, the better chance you can get of producing a better quality photo. But your camera is only just one piece of the puzzle. Like, I say it all the time to new members, but lighting is your best friend when it comes to dealing with a less than desirable camera. Like even with your iPhone 6, yeah, my man, I have an iPhone 6. I'm old as fuck too, and I have an iPhone 6, and I've taken like on the fly photos with my iPhone 6 with good lighting, and it's great. Now, granted, the default Apple camera app gives you less options, but you can go on the App Store and you can find apps on the App Store that unlock more of those features for your camera where you can manually set the ISO, you can manually set the exposure and stuff like that. And when you're working with your own lighting, that really helps a lot. And even in the default camera app, there are really in-depth, not really in-depth, but there are like moderately in-depth options for setting exposure and locking exposure and stuff like that. Granted, you can't do like manual focusing and like probably not ISO and stuff like that, but there are apps out there that let you utilize those kind of features with your stock phone. So don't think that just because you have a cell phone doesn't mean you can't get heavy in A.C.B.A. and take some great shots, because that's definitely not the case.
Yeah. Although I have a DSLR, I don't know where that shit is, and I use my phone whenever I take pictures now because I can't find my DSLR. If you were specifically looking to get a DSLR, I always tell people like the best entry level, not that expensive DSLR that will get you into like knowing those cameras. It helps you like watch tutorial videos on YouTube about is probably Canon Rebels. They're pretty cheap and they are a DSLR and they're fairly entry level. I'd say you don't have to buy any of those expensive Nikons or even expensive Canons or Sonys or Panasonic, and you could still get the feel for a DSLR. Now, don't get me wrong, you're not about to go to Amazon and find one for like $100, and if you do, it's probably a scam. But like, 250 to 350, you could find an older Rebel like a T3i or like a T4i right now for
Yeah,
like a
for sure.
and it's a good entry level camera. But honestly, you don't need it.
You
Good
don't need DSLRs.
good
No.
lighting and a cell phone is it'll do the job.
Yeah, and a lot like even like you said, you don't need a DSLR, but even if you do opt to get like an entry level cheaper DSLR, the biggest mistake I see a lot of guys new to DSLR makes is you kind of have to work your way up to working with DSLRs. I see a lot of guys that are veterans for with taking pictures with their phones and stuff like that. There's somebody recently in PNP, Rick, who got a DSLR I think earlier this year, and he was like at the top of his game for shooting with phones. But as soon as he got the DSLR, like you could see the quality of his pictures go down a little bit just because he didn't know the ins and outs of the camera. Now that didn't mean that he was not a good, display artist, because he definitely was. Like he was taking really great pictures with his point and shoot camera and his cell phone. But but DSLRs are definitely a bigger thing to take on. But they're so I don't know. I don't want to scare anybody into getting a DSLR, but like it is a little bit more involved than a cell phone and stuff like that. So, I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is just make sure that you like break it down. Like learn the fundamentals of photography first and then work your way up to a DSLR. Like I said earlier, if you're good with lighting and you're good with all that other stuff, once you get to the DSLR level, you'll have the tools ready to go ahead and produce a good picture. You just have to learn about the camera. Now, when you do get a entry level DSLR, every DSLR is going to come with like a couple of different settings, a couple of different priority modes and stuff like that, as well as manual. And manual taking pictures in manual can be like a very difficult thing if you don't know anything about DSLRs. So I would never suggest doing that right off the cuff. But say if you take pictures and like your ISO is like really weird, like your photos are coming out super dark or super bright, then you can switch to those priority modes on your camera, and it'll automatically set those settings for you while you still have some wiggle room with a lot of other settings. And the good thing is it'll tell you which settings it chose for you, and you can take those settings back into manual mode, and then from there you can experiment with that. Like they'll kind of hold your hand a little bit with that stuff. So yeah, like Rick said, DSLRs, entry level DSLRs are pretty cheap, especially if you like on the off chance if you do have lenses like around, or like if like you bought a lens separately, or you found a lens, or a family friend gave you a lens or whatever, you can buy a body for like $200 for sure. if you already have a lens.
And don't ever be afraid to like, I know some people like always like, oh man, go take a class down at your local junior college. Like, I can understand how you wouldn't want to do that. But there is like so many people, just like we are here with toys, trying to make money off of making videos on YouTube. And there is literally hundreds of thousands of videos of trying to teach you how to use a DSLR. You could totally do that too. Even once you get it, you could watch those videos and those tutorials and then come back and start using it when you have that full knowledge after watching those videos.
Yeah, for sure. When I first got my DSLR, I watched Digital Rev on YouTube every day for such a long time. And that's basically where I got a lot of my knowledge from it. As well as experimenting with the camera and stuff. But there's a lot of options out there, you guys, for sure. And like Nicholas just said, like he thought a DSLR was essential, and if there's anything that you guys should take away, like you guys that are looking to get into A.C.B.A. but are looking through the group and are seeing some of these shots look a little intimidating to you, a DSLR is not essential, not in the slightest. Like I said, a lot of the most recognizable A.C.B.A. shots are taken with a cell phone, so don't get.
I wish you guys could see Boog's camera.
Yeah, for sure, exactly.
When it's not his phone, it is a really old point and shoot camera that still does well. It doesn't matter that it's old.
Because
of the lighting.
It sure doesn't. Like yo, I'm just looking at this King Shark custom real quick. This thing is crazy.
Right? So fucking dope.
But yeah, like I said, you don't need a crazy DSLR. Nowadays, honestly, if you don't want to get into DSLRs nowadays, a great alternative are point and shoot cameras nowadays. Because point and shoot cameras nowadays are as good as like DSLRs like 10 years ago, for sure. And they're a fraction of the cost. If you don't mind like having a fixed lens on your camera all the time, point and shoot cameras now are super great, on the same level as old DSLRs. Yeah, absolutely, no question. So, let's go ahead and let's see. Let's go through the group and like critique some stuff real quick. But before that, let's see. Let's take one more question while I go ahead and set that up. Any advice on downsizing my collection? We had this conversation earlier in PNP, did we not? Somebody was, or in one of the groups, somebody was talking about downsizing their collection. I'm right there with you, Adrian. My collection is out of control. What about you, Rick?
Yeah, I'm actually going to start downsizing a lot of it once I unpack it. Mainly like Japanese statues. I really love anime, and I bought way too many anime statues. I don't have the space for them. And what I come to finally realize is that just because I love a series really doesn't mean I need to own something from it. Especially if it's not articulated. I was just a fiend, and a lot of the animes I love, which is a lot because I watch animes that don't have to do anything with fighting or any type of might testing.
Testing.
and I don't know, I let myself get obsessed with having to have something from a series just because I like it. And I don't know. I mean, I know you don't have that problem, whoever's asking. I think it's that the Adrian guy. Because you collect American stuff. But dude, do you ever like anything American that you don't want anymore? It's always easy to buy back because they always make new figures of that stuff.
Nice. All right, okay. Predator shot was dope. Scrap 914 says, "Where's the Johnny 5 figure at?"
John Papa Sergio back at it again. I wish I could tell you. Sorry, somebody knocked on my door. But yeah, if you're selling your American stuff, the best thing about it is that there's always going to be something new. Like, look at how many Wolverines Hasbro's given us. And I'm not even talking about Hasbro's original run. I'm talking about current Hasbro Marvel Legends. Look how many Wolverines we have. How many Spider-Mans we have. Remember when every Spider-Man they release is the new best Spider-Man? No, this one. Like, there is no problem with getting rid of American stuff because there's always going to be something new. There's always going to be a different version. There's always going to be a different color. So don't. If holding you back is the fact that you feel like you'll never find it again, you can. And there's no harm in selling things off and figuring out what you want to do with your collection.
Oh my God! Someone really wants to get in touch with you, Rick. All right, okay. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and critique some pictures. You have the Midoriya Figma figure.
Hell yeah, I do.
What do you think about it, Rick? Let's hear an off the cuff review right now.
I have two of them. And I pre-ordered a regular one through AmiAmi, and then the second one I got on HLJ, and I just I really hate that that mask is an exclusive. Doesn't make any sense. Um, it's frustrating. It's like an absolutely essential piece to the figure. That's just it's like giving us a Wolverine. It really is like giving us a Wolverine figure and not giving us the hands with the claw. The hands with the claw are an exclusive version you can only buy at Comic Con. That's exactly what this is. Um, so I hate that, but the figure is one of the most impressive Figma's done, and not just out of being a huge lover of My Hero Academia, but because of the simple fact that it really is. The elbows and the knees to this day, I don't believe any other figure has done their elbows and knees like that. Because of his shoulder pads and knee pads, they can break up the sculpt more, so it's actually a true double jointed Figma joint. And I think it's really cool. I couldn't believe it when I got that figure in, how it was articulated like that. I have a shitload of Figmas. I probably have like 130 Figmas, and none of them move like that. And so I thought it was really cool, and I was so excited for where the line was going, and it's been quite some time, and there's been absolutely no word on where the fuck Bakugo is. um, I love the figure. I hate the resale that it's at right now. I hate that those that missed out don't have the opportunity to get one. I hate that we couldn't get that mask as a regular release, but I love the figure. Um, and I wouldn't be upset about not having a Bakugo or not having a re-release if it wasn't a good figure. Because if it wasn't a good figure, I wouldn't care. It really is a good figure, and it sucks that more people can't have it. It sucks. Like, you know, whatever the case may be for why we don't have Bakugo, I don't think that there is an excuse that they can give us for why we don't have a re-release of Izuku. I don't think they could give me any answer that would satisfy me besides that they lost the license, which I know isn't true.
Yeah, that's very true.
I know that they don't, because they always put that cardboard at their shows, and they even showed an All Might cardboard, right?
Yes, they sure did.
And so, you know, it just goes to show they didn't lose it. They're just stragglers, man. They take forever to do things. They do things on their own time. And me knowing how the CEO of the people that make Figma Max Factory, how that guy works, makes me even more frustrated. I wish you guys would know how that guy is. That guy is like a super eccentric cat that, because the company is his, makes whatever the fuck he wants. Imagine Randy but flamboyant from NECA.
Well,
Like, sometimes he'll make. If you ever thought of a Figma figure and were like, why the fuck did they make a Figma of that? It's literally just because he likes it. And he has that kind of power and stuff like that. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating, and they never answer questions straight. Like, you know, even having these figures, I get upset thinking about the fact that people don't have it. It's fucked up, man. I really do hope that at Anime Expo, that's their biggest American convention that is this coming weekend, that they have some sort of announcement for Bakugo or a re-release for Izuku, because it's messed up, man. I wish you guys could have it. It's messed up. It's an awesome figure, though. Back to the original question, it's a great figure. Articulation we've never seen before on a Figma. It's a great series. I hope everyone gets a chance to buy one.
Yeah, I have a Midoriya as well. I got mine super early in the game, and I think it's great. Is it worth? Is it worth the price? No, I don't.
No way.
Hell no. I would wait for a re-release. The thing you have to realize with the Midoriya figure is like, it came out during a time when what do you call it? When My Hero wasn't really that popular outside of Japan. Like, it was just getting that traction. The manga was like super popular. But like the actual, this was before season 2 came out, and season 2 is when when it really, you know, exploded, right?
Yeah.
And it came out right then, and a lot of people didn't really give a shit about it, honestly. Like, I remember when I first saw the preview of the figure before I started watching the show, I was like, oh, this is from that show that everybody keeps on telling me to watch. Maybe I'll get it, I don't know. But lo and behold, I started watching, and there it was. But like that not only did that show sneak up on everybody, but that figure snuck up on a lot of people too, you know. And I think that's why we haven't gotten a re-release for that Figma specifically, because like when you pay attention to the timeline, like it was released essentially when nobody really gave a shit about it, and then they probably just sold through their stock, and it really didn't make a lot of like phenomenal numbers like on paper, but like knowing the like the clamoring for it and like the want and the need for it now doesn't really make sense. But like back then they probably saw how much it sold and they're all like, all right, okay, I guess not, whatever. And then and then now it's like finally at like that fever pitch. Like this is like the highest amount of hype and like popularity that My Hero has been at so far. Like now they're probably like, oh shit, maybe we should probably re-release this. So I mean, if anything, patience is virtue with that one, honestly.
Yeah, it's like I was saying earlier in the podcast or in the original podcast. Figma's line is the kind of thing where they leave open orders. So that is the perfect example to show you just how little people gave a shit about the show and the figure, because there's such a low amount of them because of the fact that nobody ordered it. They are not like Hasbro. They're not like NECA. They're not like Mezco. They purposely leave open orders, which means that the reason why you get a Figma pre-order like 12 months before it comes out is because of the fact that whatever you pre-order is what they make. They don't make an amount of figures and then put up a pre-order and then the pre-order sells out. Most of the time, almost every single time, they just do open orders. So unless it's an exclusive, you're going to have a long period of time to pre-order something. I think they give a website like AmiAmi 2 or 3 months to open pre-order, and then they have to close it. And whatever pre-order they get, they produce the figures. And they obviously don't just produce exactly what is ordered, but they don't produce that much more after it is ordered. Like they only produce I'd have to think like 1,000 or 2,000 more than what's actually ordered.
For sure. No,
so if it's supposed to show you why isn't there any masked Izukus, or why is there so little Izukus even for sale on eBay? It really is because of the simple fact that nobody ordered it. And if they did, it would be abundant and it wouldn't resell for that much. And then the fact of the matter is people didn't pre-order. People didn't care about it at the time. And it's not like I blame them, but that's the reason why you don't see that many people. Like, I guarantee there's nobody in here that can count more than 5 people on their hand that owns one.
Yeah, excluding Rick and I.
Excluding me and Poncho, I guarantee you don't know 5 people that own it. Because it was just really under the radar at the time. And I don't know. Let's hope, man, at Anime Expo they give us something. Because if they don't, then it is time to worry, my friends. It is fucking time to worry that something is up. Because the popularity is at an all-time high. The trajectory of this manga and anime is I know it's blasphemous to say it, but it's reaching the levels of things of like Hunter x Hunter and Bleach and obviously the other big two like Dragon Ball and One Piece. Blasphemous to say that, but it's true. It is reaching those heights. So to not have figures for that is a slap in the face. And Todd McFarlane can keep his statues that he's going to make of My Hero Academia. We don't want them.
Oh God. All right, okay. Let's go ahead. Let's critique some pictures real quick. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do like 2 or 3 or something like that.
I got a little bit more than 2 or 3, but we'll do some lightning rounds.
Let's do it.
Let's go. So first up, we got this guy right here. I don't know. Can you can't see what I'm looking at, can you? Right?
I can just look at my phone.
That's it. All right. Okay. Right here. This is a really great picture. This is a really good example. Last time I was on the podcast, I think like 2 weeks ago, I was talking about how a lot of people can overshoot and overestimate their aperture and their holy cow, I'm like brain farting right now. But like they can overshoot how blurry a picture can get. Field of view, not field of view, shit. But if
Field of
you're what's up?
field of vision.
No, it's not field of vision. God. Anyway, um, but this picture is a really great example of how to like focus your characters. Like Sarah Connor and like the dude in front of her are like really crisp, really clear, and then the other guy in the very very back is not as important in the scene. So he's justifiably blurred out. Looks really good. This is a really great example of also good lighting. I can definitely tell that this one is shot with a DSLR just because basically the only lighting that he has illuminating these two figures in the front is like that little light right up there. So for more finesse shots like this, you'll probably need a DSLR. But this is a really good example of not overshooting it with like your bokeh and stuff like that, and just really really thinking about your picture in terms of who your subjects are and keeping them in focus. So right down here we have another really great a really good photo right here. A really good example of just building a good scene. Like this literally looks this literally looks like if I was looking at this like super far away, I would think it's a real photo for sure. This guy did a really 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 great job of just like building his scene out. I mean, suffice it to say, his like incredible diorama really helps sell this shot. But not only is it a good example of building a great scene, but it's a really good example of keeping everything really tight and contained for sure. There's no like blank spots and stuff like that. There's nowhere in this image that really breaks the illusion that it's a contained scene for sure. Not to mention that his posing is on point. A lot of people think that if you want to get like really high marks or really good praise on posing, it's got to be this really extravagant, like out of this world pose. But like I said, with taking good pictures, you got to start like with the basics. And same thing with posing. Like if you, before you start doing all these crazy and wild and wacky, like, highly dynamic poses, work on your vanilla poses for sure. And if you can sell a really great vanilla pose, then you're definitely ready for the next step for sure. So like this pose right here, like her hands are in the pocket and stuff like that. Now it does look like he just popped the hands off and she has no hands, and just like the handless forearm pegs are just like in the pocket. Another really great tip, a little bit of pro tip for you guys right here. And she's like lightly walking and stuff like that. This vanilla pose is really on point. Super great.
That's a beautiful shot.
Super great. So let's go ahead. You can see, right, Rick?
Yeah, I could see it through my phone.
All right, cool. So this one right here, this Hulk and Wolverine, this is a really good example of like how to elevate something. So this one, I think another angle could have really really elevated this shot. This kind of like straightforward, straight on type of deal works sometimes, but you should always experiment with different angles for sure. I think with this one, aside in terms of just framing, if he would have tilted the frame a little bit, that would have worked really good. If he maybe put the camera a little bit more on the left side to where we could see a little bit of Wolverine's expression instead of just Hulk's, that would have worked really great as well. But in terms of like straight fundamentals, this scene just really needed more light. You can see in his seaside right here that he really only has two sources of light right here. And I know what he was going for. He was going for like a really super dark shot, with the fire being really, really bright and burning, which makes sense. But something to think about is you can see right here he's shooting with the DSLR. When you're shooting with such a minimal amount of light, you really got to dive into your DSLR, and you really got to start messing with those settings. So for this one, I would have brought the ISO super down, like something like a really smooth, like 600, maybe up to 800, and then I would have really turned those lights up. So whenever you're shooting whenever you're shooting, we've talked about this before in different podcasts, but it's always better to have more lights than not enough lights, because whenever you go into your camera or your phone or whatever you're shooting with, you can always take light out of your scene, but you can't add light without it looking a little weird. So sometimes when you take a photo in the dark, you'll notice how it's like crazy grainy. That's because your camera is trying to compensate for the lack of light. But if you're
that stuff really hits hard when you're on a DSLR. If there's not enough light,
yeah, for sure,
those cameras really need a lot of light.
no question.
And if you don't, you need to fix those settings.
Todd said it. Depth of field. Thank you, Todd. I don't look like an idiot anymore. Thank you so much. but yeah. So with this one, I would have cranked the ISO super down, and then I would have turned the lights up. So when you're turning your ISO down, that's just basically just saying that your camera is not taking in as much light. So your lights on your scene need to burn really, really hot. And even though your lights can be super bright, if your ISO is low enough, it's not going to pick up all that light, but you can still add and remove as much light as you want and really start to paint this scene, this dark scene. And then when you're shooting with a low ISO, with a lot of lights, you'll get a really nice and smooth and like silky kind of picture and stuff like that. Of course, other elements come into choice too, like f-stop and your other stuff like that. But for this one, I would have added more lights and just turned the settings down on the camera. That way, you can even kind of see it on this Hulk right here on his torso. You can see the orange light from the fire kind of bouncing off. And if he would have turned his ISO down, you would have seen a lot more of that light bouncing off. You could have even gotten a really nice silhouette of this orange light hitting like his thighs and his torso and his arms and stuff like that, and that would have looked really nice and really clean. Moving on, we got this sick picture of this Spider-Man by Johnny Woo, the man, the myth. Holy cow, this looks so good. I didn't even know it was by Johnny Woo when I picked it up. This looks good. This is a incredible example of good depth of field for sure. His f-stop is super low, and the lower your f-stop is, that just means a narrower field, a narrower spot of your camera will like be in focus. So his ISO is pretty, not his ISO, his depth of field is super, super little, and his Spider-Man is so crisp and like so clean, but everything behind it is so blurry, and like a lot of people call that bokeh. So like there's a lot of really great bokeh with the lights right here. This looks so good, unbelievable. And you can even see in his seaside, like his scene is long, like it's very deep. It's a very deep and long scene, and that's how you get really good that's how you get a really good depth of field. Like if you're only shooting with like 12 or so inches with you, your f-stop has to be crazy low to get a good depth of field. But if you have more space to work with, then you can get it looking really good. That's why like with sports photos and stuff like that, like sports photography, excuse me, like you'll notice like the player is usually super crisp and everything else is blurry as shit because they're outside. And the depth of field is really great in that one. Can you see this Majin Vegeta one, Rick?
I think my stream is a little backed up.
It's all good.
Yeah, now I see it with the charge up.
Hell yeah. So I picked this one up because this is a really good example of how just fine-tuning a little bit of posing would have really elevated this shot. So one thing I always talk about that I'm a really like stickler for, especially for Dragon Ball figures, is like wrists. And we talked about this 2 weeks ago. Whenever you're posing a wrist, especially a clenched hand in Dragon Ball, always remember to tuck it in towards the bicep. So it should have gone like up a little bit like this. Because like we said the other week, whenever you're putting strain on your wrist and making a fist, it's naturally going to curl towards your body or towards your bicep. That's how your muscle structure works.
Even the other hand, when you reach out your hand right now and point, it is very hard for your arm and your hand to be perfectly level. Like that two finger should have been either pointed up or pointed down a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that wrist is important.
Yes, exactly. The his fist should have been, pivoted in. This one should have this hand should have been tilted up a little bit. His elbow should have in this instance your arm can be pretty straight because that's the method of the attack. But another thing is the way his body is just posed. You'll notice in a lot of anime, like there's a very big trope about like your pelvis kind of leaning out a little bit and your top of your body is kind of slanting away from your pelvis. You'll notice that a lot, especially in Dragon Ball art. So if he would have kind of been leaning a little, if he would have like posed his back leaning a little bit and his pelvis kind of leaning out and then his legs being pretty straight, and then you can balance that out with the feet, planted firmly on the ground, that would have super elevated this shot. Granted, it is good for what it is right now, but some minor tweaking with posing would have really helped it out for sure. This one right here is another great example of good depth of field. So for instance, 11 and this Hopper. I was gonna call him Hutch. What the hell is wrong with me? But 11 and Hutch, even god damn.
11 and Hutch.
The true OTP right here. Even though 11 and Hopper are the closest to the camera, he's really using that depth of field, and he's focusing on the Demigorgon here, and it makes such a nice cinematic look right here. And also in direct contrast to Johnny Woo's shot, you can see in the seaside these guys are pretty close to each other, and that's where, and you can even see right here his f-stop is crazy low right here. Even though it's kind of like blurred out, you can see that his f-stop is super low. His ISO right here looks like he's shooting at like maybe 100 possibly. Shout out to Ben Piper, by the way. He's the guy that whooped my ass in Photo Combat. God damn, good guy. What a great guy. Didn't mind losing to him one bit. Benny Pipes coming at you. But this is a really great example of shooting with a low ISO. And he has one light source he has two light sources right here, and there's a little bit coming out right here as well. But this is a really great example of using your DSLR, really getting to know with it, getting intimate, getting pretty intimate, getting hot and heavy with your DSLR, just learning the ins and outs of it, and just really using that tool for sure. This shot looks super good, really clean, really crisp. The reason I brought this one up was this is a example of your depth of field just kind of being all over the place. Unfortunately, it looks a really good shot visually, yeah, but I think like Deadpool is like the subject of the shot, so he's like really crisp and really clean. But this Jackal and this Bullseye, like I feel like they could have been a little bit more in focus, even though I kind of get the artistic idea that Deadpool is the subject of the photo, so he's in focus, but you kind of break that illusion because Deadshot's forearm is in focus too, so a little weird with that one. And then also you straighten your cutout too. This one is pretty straight, but it could have been leveled just a little bit right there. A really great example of a high shutter speed right here. His bug so intimately described, just throwing dirt on the ground, really great, super good. If you have a super high shutter, this is your calling for sure.
Oh, the dirt.
Throw the dirt, my guy. And this one right here, this is an example of, first of all, it's framed really well, right in the center, dead center. Natural light is really good, but really, even taking out containing your shot, this is just outdoors. It's not a contained shot. He probably could have cropped it like right up here too, so it's not clean and contained. But the biggest thing right here is just the grass all over the place. Completely breaks the illusion that this is supposed to be like a 6 foot tall nightmare clown, pretty much. But whenever you're shooting outside, just stay away from grass.
Say no to grass.
Stay no to
Just like-
grass. Stay away from the devil's lettuce, please. Right here is another example of just really fine tuning your posing a little bit. Captain America's foot could have been planted a little bit better right here. The cutout could have been a little bit straighter. On the flip side, he could have just tilted his camera and it would have looked sick. It would have made it a little bit more dynamic, and then the cutout would have been straight. His light is maybe a little hot on this Hulk back here, and definitely up here. His lights are a little hot. He could have brought the ISO down, or maybe the aperture down a little bit. Not the aperture, but the exposure down a little bit. And then Black Widow's knee is kind of straight, little unnatural.
Yeah, the cutout, the hot lights, and that foot is like the biggest standouts of this being close.
Yeah, it's right there too. It is right there. It's so good to being perfect. Great shot, but just a little bit of TLC would have completely elevated it. Also, with these explosions, they're a little debris. You know, make yourself a little debris out of not EVA foam, but out of like insulation foam, and just kind of sprinkle it in, like at the tips of those explosion arcs and stuff like that. It really goes a long way, especially if you're having explosions like in urban areas like this. If stuff is exploding, there's going to be debris, period. Got 2 more left. Derek Baroki, the man, the myth, coming at you with exceptional cutout work. Really great.
Yeah, that Punisher.
Super good. And then this. Holy shit. Dude. This Godzilla shot is off the wall. Super great. This is incredible. This is like...
Yeah, Jesus, this is such a good shot.
This is amazing. This is unbelievable. Everything about this is on point. The lighting is crazy. He's got like classic like blue going into orange and yellow. Really great complementary colors. The fundamentals of this shot are on point. Not only is it a great shot for A.C.B.A. standards, but photography, period. Super great. He's got it all. Like he's using the rules of thirds with this guy right here. This guy being right in the middle for the rules of thirds, and then Godzilla, his head being on the other plane for the rules of thirds, and then his whole body is like smack dab in the middle. It's incredible. Really great. Really good depth of field. Really good example of layering your scenes. I'm sure you've heard all of us talking about layering your scenes. Even going back to this, if he could have layered it a little bit more back here, it could have added that extra dimension and extra depth. Maybe a little bit more rubble back here where this orange light could have been bouncing off. Some of that would have really elevated that. But this is just an incredible
that cutout must have been an insane thing to have to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? He's really smart, because he, even if there aren't any imperfections with this cutout, even if there were, by using that really shallow depth of field and like blurring this cutout out the way it should be, he hides those imperfections. It's perfect. You can even see on these rails, some of the colors are a little off. Maybe it's just the bokeh messing with me, but like there's probably like a little bit of a white trim around these, but since it's blurred out, you don't even notice it. It's incredible. It's really masterful photography skills.
And it's crazy that you can totally tell that he didn't purposely do it, like, or he didn't know that it was a thing, but this is a total Fibonacci like technique picture. When you look at that
Yep.
cutout right to the left, and the way it circles around with Godzilla there, it's just like it's almost like he put a Fibonacci graph right over the picture.
For sure. Yeah, no question. Unreal. Let's take a look at this V side. This thing is crazy. But no. Anyway, that was it. I hope everybody really enjoyed. I think this is we should probably really start doing this more often. I really liked going through a couple of shots. And did you guys do that last week too?
Yeah, we did.
Hell yeah, dude. It should be every week now.
A week before too.
We did. We sure did.
I think we, if we try to stay quicker on topics, I think
yeah,
doing this makes it so much easier.
Absolutely. Jesus Christ, 10 o'clock. Jason Bourne.
It's Jason Bourne.
But yeah, thank you everybody for stopping by. In the comment section, not a joke. Let us know what you think about the new format of the podcast. Is this better?
But please don't leave us comments about Boog. He's coming back next time. He was just busy today. So don't leave that comment like you guys should bring back Boog, because Boog is the owner of this channel. It's literally his. We'll be back.
Boog will be back. Don't worry. Don't sweat. He'll be back. Don't sweat it. Let us know if you like the new layout. Let us know what you liked about the new layout. If it's easier to follow. I know a lot of people said that with the topics on here, it was a lot easier to follow. You're not kind of like running blind whenever you just hop into the podcast. You know exactly what's on. And yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and plug. Rick, you got anything to plug? What's going on in the sneaker world on your Instagram, Rick?
Well, LeBron James just signed to the Los Angeles Lakers, so I'm sure the colorways for the LeBron, the new LeBron sneaker is going to be insane. I think it's LeBron 16. So yeah, yeah. I've been considering making a second Instagram just for the toys and just creating it. So we'll see if I end up doing that.
Holy shit, we're hearing it first.
Keep you posted. No more personal.
Let's see. You can find all my stuff, Poncheesy, on the internet. Because of my new job, unfortunately, I'm not really posting that much. But I'm still on Instagram almost all the time. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm lurking on YouTube, not posting a lot on YouTube, unfortunately, but I got a couple of things in the pipeline for YouTube. But Instagram is generally where it's at right there, and you can find me at Easy on Instagram. Like Book says every week, the links will be in the description below for everybody that was on the podcast. As usual, thank you so much for stopping by. We'll catch you next time. Don't want to see next week, but we'll catch you next time on the A.C.B.A. podcast, people.